Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi to all my classmates and my lecturer. Today group 4 want to explain and elaborate liberalism theory in international relations. Okay, now I want to introduce members of the group 4. First, Muhammad ZAIM HAIKAL bin Muhammad ZAILANI. Second, Wan Ahmad MUKHRIZ bin Wan MUSTAFFA. Third, Muhammad Daniel bin AZDI MAZNAN. And lastly, Abdullah Mujahid bin Muhammad HANAPI.
What is liberalism in international relations? Liberalism in international relations is a theoretical framework that offers a hopeful and optimistic perspective on global politics. It emphasizes the importance of cooperation, international institutions, and adherence to international law as crucial mechanisms for maintaining peace and stability among nations. Rooted in Enlightenment ideals and liberal political thought, this theory presents a stark contrast to realist theories, which focus on power struggles, competition, and the inevitability of conflict in anarchic international system. Liberalism asserts that states are not solely driven by self-interest and power, but can benefit significantly from collaboration and working together to achieve common objective. Next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Muhammad Zaim Haikal bin Muhammad Zalani. My ID number is 2024554585. Okay, now I want to present about the main points liberalism theory in international relations. The first main point is the core assumption of the liberalism. In international relations, liberalism holds that because human nature is good, states and individuals may work together. In contrast to realism, which views world politics as a power struggle, it emphasizes collaboration and positive advantage above ongoing rivalry. Immanuel Kant and other philosophers thought that morality and reason could bring about peace. Liberalism also highlights the importance institutions like the United Nations are to resolving dispute and fostering international cooperation. The second main point is key tenets of liberalism. To advance peace and collaboration, liberalism in international relations support global institutions, trades and democracy. Because democracy are open and accountable, conflicts are less likely to happen. A fight would be damage to all parties. Trade and economic links reduce the potential of war. Organizations such as World Trade Organization, WTO, and the United Nations, UN, assist nations in cooperating and resolving issues. This shows how international ties and promote world peace. Philosophers like Joseph Nye and Robert Kyohen emphasize how these relations make the world a more harmonious and cooperative place. The third main point is contrast with realism. Global issues are viewed extremely differently by liberalism and realism. According to realism, the world is competitive with nations focusing on their own dominance and considering politics as an unfair competition in which success of one nation is the failure of another. Realism frequently take independent action and safeguard their interests. Liberalism, on the other hand, holds that nations can cooperate to achieve positive outcomes. Liberalism encourages cooperation through institutions such as United Nations. Liberalism are more optimistic, thinking that collaboration and advancement are achievable, and realism view conflict as necessary. For the last main point, interdependence and peace. Liberalism believes that countries are less likely to go to war when they trade, communicate, and work together. Economic connections are war less appealing because countries have more to lose. The democratic peace theory say that democracies don't often fight other because they share similar value and solve problems peacefully. Research show how that while democracy might fight non-democratic countries, they usually stay peaceful with each other. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is MUKHRIZ bin MUSTAFFA. My ID number is 2024745883. I will present about the analysis of theory. The first part is hopeful perspective of liberalism. The first one is cooperation among states. Why it matters? Liberalism emphasizes that states can work together to achieve common goals, reducing the chances of conflict. Through shared norms, trust, and institutions, states create frameworks that encourage dialogue over confrontation. For example, European Union, a model of economic and political integration that has helped prevent wars in Europe. The second one is reduction in interstate wars. Democratic peace theory. Democracies are less likely to go to war with each other because of shared values like accountability, transparency, and public participation in decision making. It also declined in conflicts. Post-World War II, large-scale wars between major powers have decreased significantly, partly due to the establishment of international institutions and norms promoting peace. The third one is rule-based international order. Its purpose is to international rules and norms developed through liberal institutions create predictability and stability in international relations. Its key institution is World Trade Organization or WTO, facilitates global trade by providing a legal framework for resolving disputes. This part is criticism of liberalism. The first one is over-optimism. The flaw of these critics argue liberalism assumes states are inherently cooperative and willing to sacrifice short-term gains for long-term peace. Realists counter this view, asserting that states remain primarily motivated by self-interest and survival. For example, the failure of the League of Nations to prevent World War II highlighted the limitation of overly optimistic cooperation. The second one is economic inequality. Impact of globalization. While liberalism promotes open markets, it also has led to uneven benefits. Developing nations often struggle under free trade policies that favor wealthier states. The third one is unequal rule enforcement. Imbalance of power. Powerful nations like the United States exert outsized influence in liberal institutions, making rules less equitable for smaller or weaker states. The next part is balancing hope and criticism. The first one is strengths of liberalism. Liberalism encourages multilateralism, where multiple countries can work together to address common challenges like climate change, terrorism, or pandemics. Humanitarian principles ensure aid and support reach those affected by crisis, regardless of national borders. The second one is addressing criticism. Rule enforcement reforms could make international institutions more representative, reducing the dominance of powerful states. Economic equity. Balancing globalization with policies that address inequality, such as fair trade practices, can mitigate disparities.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ABDULLAH bin HANAPI, and I will be presenting the impact towards international relation about our liberalism. So, what is the impact of liberalism towards international relation? So, first of all, is the impact would make it that the liberalism emphasize on economic independence, where liberal ideas have contributed to the globalization of trade and economy, such as a free trade engagement such as NAFTA and the EU, otherwise known as the European Union. Whereas the economic blocs are inspired by liberalism, illustrating how interdependence fosters stability and prosperity while discouraging military conflict. Whereas if there is a military conflict, it would make that economy will drop down, because military conflict makes any country's stock plummet towards the bottom. So that is the first impact that I will be discussing. So moving on to the second impact of liberalism towards international relations, there is also known as advocacy for democracy and human rights. So what is human rights? Human rights are something that every individual or every human in our world has their own rights, whereas their freedom of speech, their equality, and etc. So liberalism's emphasis on human rights has led to global frameworks such as Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which set standards for the treatment of individuals worldwide. So liberalism in international relations also supports the spread of democratic ideals, often as a means of fostering peaceful relations. So they are trying to make harmony and peacefulness as one. So those are some of the impacts of liberalism towards international relations. So I will be concluding that with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Last but not least, to summarize everything, liberalism in international relations provide a hopeful and pragmatic framework for understanding global politics. By emphasizing cooperation, institution, and shared values, it offers a pathway to peace and prosperity in an often anarchic world. Unlike realism, which view the international system as inherently conflict-prone, liberalism highlights the potential for positive sum outcomes where mutual benefits arise from collaboration. It champions the transformative power of democracy, the stabilizing role and economic interdependence, and the necessity of institutions in mediating disputes and fostering global governance. That's all from us. Thank you.